Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm CTigirsGaming and welcome to my honest thoughts / what I liked and disliked about Call of Duty Vanguard Beta. And anytime if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to see for the like button. For everything Call of Duty, make sure to subscribe, turn on notification bell and join notification squad. Without further ado, let's get right to it. Before we go any further in this video, I must tell you guys that everything I talk about here is from my own experiences in the beta and my personal opinions of the game. If you guys agree, that's awesome. If you guys disagree, that's also awesome. In the comment section down below, tell me what you guys liked, what you guys didn't like, and what you want to see fixed when the full game launches. It is worth noting that Sledgehammer Games did end up putting a blog that tells us some of the things that they will be fixing by the game's launch. First of all, they say that they will be nerfing the sun, and if you guys played the beta, you know how annoying the sun was with its reflection. It was very unrealistic, it was just weird, so that's a good fix that they will be doing. They'll also be cracking down on red star raves, they'll be removing dognados, they'll also be tuning spawns to avoid Hotel Royale Murder's Kitchen, that's another good fix, and finally they'll be also closing the open mic lobbies in Search and Destroy. And underneath that, they also mentioned that they'll be taking a thorough pass at weapon balancing, audio mixing, and visibility, but we will share more on that later. Okay, weapon balancing is definitely something that they need to do. If you guys remember, MP40 was OP, the Thompson and the STG44 were the best 3 weapons in all of the beta, so weapon balancing is definitely something that needs to happen. With all that out of the way, let's talk about things that I liked and then we'll move on to the things that I disliked. The very first thing that I really liked in Call of Duty Vanguard is gonna be none other than the new feature, the combat pacing. In my opinion, combat pacing definitely one of the best features to be added into Call of Duty Vanguard, and I'd even go and say probably the best feature added in recent years to Call of Duty. The fact that it lets you customize the lobbies in terms of how many players there are in each lobby, that is absolutely awesome. The combat pacing feature definitely comes in handy for a game that has large maps. For example, if you're playing on Red Star, if you play on tactical pacing, which is 6v6, that is absolutely terrible. You will spend most of the time just running around trying to look for enemies and there is nobody. I won't be surprised if you fall asleep, and I'm not even kidding, okay? You will fall asleep trying to look for enemies if you play tactical pacing on Red Star. However, if you change your combat pacing to Blitz and you play on Red Star, then that is much better because you have more players, which means more gunfight even on larger maps. But then if you get a map like Eagle's Nest, that's fine, it's a small map. Even if you play on tactical pacing 6v6, that's fine, you will get a lot of gunfights. And if you decide to play on Assault or Blitz combat pacing on Eagle's Nest, that's gonna be absolutely crazy. A lot of players on small map. I'm not gonna lie, that will be quite good if you're grinding for camos. So definitely combat pacing is a welcomed feature in Call of Duty Vanguard. The next thing that I really liked in COD Vanguard was the gunplay and the movement. Both felt very smooth and responsive in my opinion, and of course with it being on the Modern Warfare 2019's engine, the gunplay and the movement is very similar to that of Modern Warfare, and as you guys know, a lot of people including myself really enjoyed Modern Warfare, and of course the core of Call of Duty is the gunplay and the movement. If those two features are gonna be good, then the game is gonna be definitely good, and I can say in my experiences of the Vanguard beta, both felt great. I really enjoyed them. As long as they don't change anything major from now until the game launches, the gunplay and the movement in my opinion felt great. Moving on from that to another feature that I really liked, and that is the gunsmith system. I know the gunsmith system is nothing new, it's been here for 2 years, and with Vanguard it's gonna be 3 years, but in both years we've never had the ability to put up to 10 attachments per weapon. Yes, you heard that right, 10 attachments per weapon. We can do that in Call of Duty Vanguard, and that is absolutely cool and amazing. No two weapons will feel the same, each weapon will feel unique to the user. You can customize each weapon how you like and whatever fits your style. With over 70 attachments per weapon, you can basically go crazy and do whatever you want. With that amount of customization, that is absolutely awesome. When it comes to the beta, unfortunately this is everything I like. Hopefully when the full game launches there are more features and stuff that I really enjoy, but for now this is everything that I like. Now let's move on to the things that I disliked and I hope they will fix by the game's launch. The very first thing that I disliked, and this one is a very major one, and that is there is no factions in Call of Duty Vanguard. Whether it's a friendly or an enemy, they all look the same. You can go past an enemy and you wouldn't even realize it, and vice versa. It gets very confusing really quickly. Now I really don't understand why they would remove factions. It's a big feature in Call of Duty, it's a very good feature to separate the enemies from the friendlies, and for whatever reason just bang, they removed it. In my opinion, that is absolutely terrible. We need factions back. Moving on from that to another thing that I really disliked, and that is the footsteps. Now let me explain what I mean here. I don't mean the footsteps volume. The volume is quite good. The problem with the footsteps in COD Vanguard is the fact they are inconsistent. Sometimes you can hear them perfectly fine and other times you can't. And I'm not talking when the enemy is using dead silence, I'm talking when he's not using dead silence. Sometimes you can hear them perfectly and sometimes you cannot. And of course that's a very big problem. Like I said, the volume of the footstep is quite good. Do not increase or decrease the volume, keep it as it is. What Sledgehammer Games need to do is make sure that the enemy footsteps are heard every time. Of course, like I said, apart from using dead silence. And other than that, I really had no problems with sound. Everything else was quite good in my opinion. Another thing that I really disliked in the Vanguard beta was the aerial score streaks. And I don't mean using aerial score streaks, I mean destroying aerial score streaks. It was very tough telling the difference between an enemy and a friendly aerial score streaks unless you actually shot them with your gun, and if you got a hit marker, that was an enemy, and if you didn't, that was was friendly. To be honest with you guys, that is absolutely terrible, especially if you're grinding for camos. It is very difficult to tell an enemy from a friendly score streak. And yes, I know there's a perk that you can use to highlight enemy score streaks, but I'm not talking about the perks. Like in Black Ops Cold War, without a perk, you know who's friendly and who's enemy score streak. And guess what? That's not the only problem with aerial score streaks in Vanguard. If you guys didn't notice while playing, if you look up to the skies, to make it more realistic, there are planes flying all over the map, having dogfights and all that. And yes, that is absolutely cool. It adds to the realism of COD Vanguard, but then again, it makes it very difficult to tell if it's an aerial score streak that an enemy has put up or if it's just the planes flying above the map. So these are two problems that I found when playing Call of Duty Vanguard in terms of aerial score streaks. And if you guys have seen the video where I was showcasing the launchers in Vanguard, there is a part in that video where I talk about this and I even show it. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, make sure to check out that video and you will know what I'm talking about here. Moving on from that, now let's talk about my most disliked thing in all of Call of Duty Vanguard, and that is no classic minimap. Yes, just like Modern Warfare 2019, the classic minimap is not a thing. However, there is a perk that you can use to have a classic minimap, and that's where my problem lies. Why on earth do we need to use a whole perk just to have classic minimap? That shouldn't be the case. Classic minimap should always be the first option without using perks or anything like that. It should always be in the game, and to me that is absolutely ridiculous, the fact that you have to use a perk in order to get the classic minimap. Why waste a whole perk slot for something that should be in the game when you could be using it for a different perk to help you in other areas of the game? If CTigirsGaming Games really insisted on having this version of the minimap, okay, instead of giving us a perk to change it to classic minimap, why not just give us an option in the settings to toggle between a classic minimap and this new minimap version? But of course, like I said, this is my opinion, and if you guys agree or disagree with me, make sure to tell me in the comment section down below. Okay, moving on from that, I have two things that I dislike, however they do intertwine with each other, so I'm just gonna count them as one, and that is big maps and spawn logic. As you guys know, I absolutely hate big maps. I do not like them, especially in a Call of Duty game, because it takes you ages to travel from point A to B only for somebody to be camping and kill you from behind and then rinse and repeat, and that's my problem with big maps. They are absolutely terrible, and the reason why I said big maps and spawn logic intertwine with each other, because once you get killed, you spawn all the way to where you started from the beginning, and then again you have to travel all that long way only to be once again killed from somebody that is camping or from behind. And to be honest, that gets really annoying. You spend 95% of the time just running around, and the last 5% just get killed from somebody, and that is absolutely terrible. And especially if you are a content creator, you spend 20 to 30 seconds just trying to look for somebody only to be killed, and that is not enjoyable gameplay, not for the viewer and not for the player as well. Just keep in mind what I talked about does not apply for small maps, because in small maps, even if you get killed, that's fine, you can get into another gunfight really quickly. It only applies for larger maps. Another problem with the spawn logic is when you are not being spawned 300 million kilometers away from everybody else, you are being spawned right in the middle of the gunfight, you stand no chance, and boom, you get killed straight away. So basically, spawns just need a little bit of working in my opinion, and I think the spawns could be made much better. But like I said earlier in this video, this is all from my experiences in the Vanguard beta. It is all my opinion of the game. If you guys agree or disagree, make sure to tell me in the comment section down below, and if I didn't mention something that you guys want fixed, make sure to also comment in the section down below. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We are very close to the launch of Call of Duty Vanguard, and I'm very excited. But for everything Call of Duty, make sure to subscribe, turn on notification bell, and join notification squad, and I'll catch you guys later.